It is time for the first Litter Media Live for the week. I'm Dan Ramey, alongside with Aaron Glandon, Mr. Hand 2, there with a quick wave for you. Speaking of waves, we had waves of snow yesterday. What a start to the week that it's given us, you know?
I looked at the forecast the day before and it said rain, and then I woke up and there was snow.
Yeah. Well, for those of us who don't sleep much, we were kind of paying attention to that rain because around 1, 2 o'clock it became pretty heavy. And I had standing water out in my yard as I was getting ready to leave for church. And as I started out the door yesterday, about this would have been around 9:30, it had turned to snow, and snow was starting to fall. By the time I got to church, which is about 3 miles down the road, it was starting to stick to everything. We got into Sunday school, and the pastor shows up. I'm the first elder, and so we consult a lot on what to do.
Right.
He came into my Sunday school class, and he says, it's continuing to build up out there. I think we ought to think about sending everybody home. And so we did. And it was slushy. To drive on the road that I live on in Pike County down to 124, had to go pick up some goods at Dollar General. So I head down there. It took me 45 minutes to go from the church to the store back to the house, which is normally about a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
That's just how much snow we got in about 90 minutes.
And you had to do a rescue this morning.
Well, it was a wellness check, basically, is what it was. This morning, I'm driving around one of the curves. There's a couple of curves before you get to my house, and there was a young lady slid right through the curve. She was sitting in the ditch, and at first I thought, okay, did this happen overnight? And the car is still sitting, but then I saw a head in the car.
Right.
So I thought, I have been in this position before, so I decided I'm going to pull over, check on her. And so when I did check on her, she said she'd already called her brother-in-law. And by the time I was able to get to cell service, she was able to call her brother-in-law thanks to the satellite connection that like T-Mobile does now. And so because there's no cell service right where she's at, right where she's at, and she's in a dangerous position. So I called the Pike County Sheriff and said, hey, can you send a car out? Because they're going to try and pull this car out, and they're going to need somebody to stop the traffic.
Yeah.
Because that can be problematic. We hate to have something even worse happen. But she was okay, which is good. The car seemed to be okay. It's just it was stuck where she couldn't get out. So otherwise, if I'd have stayed around to help, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, I wanted to share your text with me this morning because I thought people would find them humorous. I got here at 9:15, 9:30, and I texted Dan and said, the parking lot is kind of slick.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I'm probably a 10:15 arrival. Mm-hmm. About half an hour later, he says, correction, ETA 10:30.
Yeah.
Half an hour after that, he says, okay, so it's more like 10:40. And he walked in the door about 10:45.
And now keep in mind, I'm using CarPlay to send these voice texts to you.
Yes.
So for people thinking, oh, he's texting while he's driving.
Yeah, if we have some Ohio troopers watching,
yes,
don't arrest Dan.
I was using the technology given to me, which I can't always use because there's that stretch of roadway that I live on where the sun don't shine, and neither does the cell signal come in. Let's get to what the weather is left for us now. We have icy conditions in many areas. In fact, the road I live on is still snow-covered and ice-covered. But by the time I got to 772, everything was relatively clear, except for where the water runs off from people's driveways and cross it. That's all slushy. So be careful. This is not going to go anywhere this week because the temperatures are going to stay below freezing all week long. In fact, we're going to see temperatures into the teens in some areas throughout the week. Highs today only about 26. We'll have cloud cover and cold again tonight. Lows around 11 degrees. For Tuesday, chance of snow late night into Wednesday. And again, highs will be around 20 degrees. throughout most of this week. So if you are going out, and we're going to be out each night this week with high school basketball on Litter Media Radio. So if you're like us going to these games, be cautious, be careful where you go. And if you decide not to go, listen in on Litter Media Radio. We don't have all the games covered, but we have something every night this week. All right, we'll get more into that coming up in sports. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. We've been doing this for nearly 5 decades now, making sure that your home is comfortable. Heating, cooling, and plumbing, they can do it all. You want to find out more? Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and click on this page. It'll take you right to their website, which is accuratehvac.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. Full disclosure, I am one of the 50,000 people that they see at Haynes Chiropractic Physical Therapy and Nutrition. This is Haynes Total Health Care. They can take care of your needs. You're going to find out what's going on with your body. You're like, man, my neck is doing this or my back is doing that. My hips aren't working here. They can help you in a great way. Find out more when you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to hayneshealth.com. And while you're at our website, you'll be able to find all of our social media information, Litter Media Radio, Spotify. All that is in the upper right-hand corner of the screen that you're looking at right now. If you're listening on Litter Media Radio, you already know how to get to Litter Media Radio. But you'll find stories that we're covering here today, even that beautiful eagle right there. They're looking for people to find bird nests.
Yes.
For eagles.
And we'll tell you about that coming up.
I think I saw one over the weekend. I'll tell you more about that when we get to that point. It's President's Day, so no banks and government offices, post office is closed today, so take it easy there. I will tell you, it was my junior year in high school, President's Day. I was on the yearbook staff at Tays Valley High School at the time, and they gave me a camera. And that day, we got together and we just drove around and took pictures.
Of what?
It looked nothing like what it does right now. It was in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Very balmy weather. It was fantastic. And I managed that's where my photography career began, was as a junior, taking photos for the yearbook. I was nowhere near as good as Barry Williams was. He was my locker mate, but he was also, he became a photographer, if I'm not mistaken. But
maybe we should hire him.
Well, this should tell you where I was going with this, because I took all these pictures, and when I went to develop, I didn't see much of what I'd taken. I left the lens cap on. That's how my photography career began.
There you go.
So, yeah.
There was no, viewfinder in the camera?
when you were looking at it, you saw what you were looking at, man. You took a picture.
Wow.
I just didn't realize
I can't imagine growing up in the days of analog.
Yeah, it was tough, and having to go to a dark room, thinking I've got all these images. This is going to be cool, and then you watch them develop, and there's nothing on there. Yeah. You were out and about in Lancaster.
Yes, I went to Lancaster last week and spoke to Stephanie Bosco, the Economic Development Director for the city, and talked with her about the vacant building that's been there for 20 years, and they're turning into a new apartment complex. Hear what she has to say.
So we have a 138,000 square foot building that's been sitting vacant for at least 20 years. And we have a developer super dedicated to our community who is interested in redeveloping, I should say, a 3-story mixed-use development. The top 2 floors are going to be apartments. The first floor is going to be commercial space and some short-term rentals. I think it's going to be at least 60 units. There'll be a range of sizes. It'll go from studios on up. So it'll drive a lot more residential opportunity in the downtown area. These will be the newest apartments in downtown. We have not had a lot of brand new apartments. It's a redevelopment, but the inside will be completely gutted, and they'll be beautiful.
You can find that full interview on our YouTube channel and see more details on our website, littermedia.com. Mm-hmm. They hope to have residents moved in around spring of 2026.
Okay. That building, if I'm not mistaken, is where 22 comes in to 33. Is that right?
It's the corner of Columbus and Mulberry.
Okay. That doesn't help. I guess in that respect. But if you've driven through Lancaster a lot, you see that building.
It's real close to the train tracks.
Okay, yeah. So check that out next time you go to Lancaster. And who knows, maybe you might decide to move into Lancaster.
Maybe.
And make a permanent residence right there at the new facility. February 22nd is coming up this Saturday. It'll be the first day for a watercolor for beginners class at Ohio University Chillicothe's Bennett Hall from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's a beginner-friendly watercolor class that teaches the basics of watercolor painting. I got that back in like the first grade. We got to dabble with watercolors at that point in time.
Did you make anything like these cardinals right here?
I did not. It looked nothing like that. Each class has one project that is done within the 2-hour class, so you'll have a painting to take home with you. How about that? All supplies are included. Class fee is $35.
The Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife is conducting a statewide bald eagle nest census in 2025 and is requesting the public's help to locate active eagle nests. Observers may report bald eagle nest locations at wildohio.gov until Sunday, March 16th. By reporting bald eagle nest locations, wildlife watchers help Division of Wildlife biologists understand eagle population dynamics and monitor trends, ensuring this and other species continue to do well in the Buckeye State.
I was driving north on 23 from the business loop. This would have been last Thursday or Friday, I think. And as I was going north on 23, crossing the river, I had looked to my right, and there's a tree probably, I'm guessing maybe 20 yards off from where the bridge is, that looked like it had an eagle's nest in it. So I didn't see any eagles, but it looked like what you see on all these nature shows where they have all these sticks together and it's like this big around.
So eagle nests they look like bird nests, but bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty big. 32nd Annual Community Health Fair and Family Fun Day is set for Saturday, June 7th. When the temperatures will be much warmer. 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. at Grace Community Church. They ask that you join in for a day filled with free and reduced price health screenings, along with exciting family activities like petting goats and things of that sort, it looks like. Local community agencies will showcase informational displays while children can enjoy clowns, balloon sculptures, face painting, a petting zoo, and much more.
This is in Fayette County. I just realized the script does not say that.
Grace Community Church, it's a pretty good-sized church over in Fayette County, just outside of Washington Courthouse there. Our road report for you, got a lot of things to share. East 7th Street in Chillicothe will be closed between South Mulberry and South Hickory Streets today through Friday. At 7:30 to 5:30, they're doing their best to maintain a traffic flow on Madeira Avenue. Starting tomorrow and going through the 21st, the intersection of South Mulberry and 8th Street in Chillicothe will be closed 7:30 to 5:30. R&R Pipeline will have flaggers on East 8th Street to maintain the truck traffic. And over the weekend, also, we shared news from the Pickaway County Sheriff's Department, an announcement made by South Bloomfield and the police chief there, that they are beginning a widening project of US 23 in South Bloomfield. Now, I grew up across the river over on 104 from South Bloomfield, and it's always been a traffic nightmare, especially if they do construction. And traffic has only increased through that area. So I've not seen the plans, but I'm going to guess they're going to widen by taking out some of the sidewalks probably, and maybe putting a turn lane in the middle. That would be helpful, because so often traffic gets backed up because someone's trying to turn left against all that traffic that's coming, and it just backs everything up. So that's supposed to begin today and run through September. So if you plan on getting through South Bloomfield quickly, and there's no way around it unless you go over and take 104 and go up, that's pretty much it. So if you have to go north throughout today through the summer, expect delays in South Bloomfield. All right, coming up, a look at sports. Plenty of things to share with you there. Details on the way next. But first, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. They will bring a dumpster to where you need it, whether it be residential or commercial. They can handle it for you. All you need to do is give them a call, 740-253-8389, or click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com. It's the one with the orange dumpster. It will take you right to their Facebook page where you can learn more about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Time for sports, and we start with a bit of review as we look back on Saturday. The Unioto Sherman girls used 3 scoring spurts, including a 13-2 run at late second quarter surge to beat Athens 75-53 Saturday. That advances them to this Wednesday's Division III district semifinal at Logan High School. Unioto will face Sheridan, who knocked off previously unbeaten Marietta 51-49 on a steal and a lay-in +1 with 4 seconds to play. Sheridan is a team that we normally see at this district tournament, and we'll see the Unioto Shermans take them on. Now, we're going to send you up to Logan Wednesday.
Yes.
You're pretty excited about that, aren't you?
I'm super excited.
Yes.
It's fun watching the Unioto girls play. They're good.
They are good.
And for a couple minutes in the first quarter, their game against Athens looked like it was going to be a hard-fought battle.
It was the other way around, wasn't it? Unioto was trailing for like
for a little
5,
bit.
6 points, something like that, and then suddenly they said, enough of this, and took over. Unioto Boys completed an undisputed SVC championship season with a win at Paint Valley on Saturday. Shermans went 13-1. Miami Trace Boys won the FAC Gold Ball with a 10-0 mark, 21-0 on the slate after beating Hillsborough Saturday. Memphis Miles Montgomery, this is a candidate for our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week presented by Hometown Credit Union.
Homeland.
He scored,
you had Hometown Motors in the brain.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. Homeland Credit Union. He scored 30 points, including his 2,000th career mark in the Falcons' 81-35 victory over Eastern Pike. Pretty awesome, impressive. Yeah. Congratulations to Miles Montgomery there. On some of the games that were played over the weekend, plenty of girls basketball in the way of the tournament season, all up and running for the girls. The boys begin their tournament season this week. So you can find all those scores available on the score page at littermedia.com.
Just looking at this right here, Miles Montgomery of Minford, 2,000th point.
I just mentioned that, yes.
Yeah. I must have tuned out or something. But that's crazy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that was that win over Eastern Pike. Our Litter Media radio tournament game coverage begins tonight. BJ Daly and I, along with Aaron, will be down at Waverly's downtown gym where Huntington will take on Alexander. That's the nightcap. Portsmouth plays Piketon in the first game, and I'll be there early enough to watch that game because I want to see Portsmouth play. Amy Hughes used to be the coach at Chillicothe. Had a nice friendship with Amy over the years, and she, of course, has got that Portsmouth team undefeated. They are cranking. Watch out for them tonight. But I've got a Sunday school student who's on the Piketon team. So I want to get a chance to see them before their season is complete. Huntington takes on Alexander tonight. We'll have radio time beginning about 7:50. Tomorrow night, Mike's going to be with Adina and North Adams. That also is the second game of a doubleheader tomorrow night at Waverly's downtown gym. Then a doubleheader over at Southeastern High School. We'll be there with Litter Media Radio. Mike and BJ will have the coverage of Fairfield Union and Hillsborough, followed by Circleville and McLean. And Aaron will be in Logan reporting on the Unioto Sherman basketball contest. And Thursday, Gallia Academy at Circleville for boys Division 4 action. I'll have that contest for you starting just before 7 o'clock. And then Mike and BJ will be at Southeastern on Friday with Peebles at Southeastern. There are 3 possible areas for us to be this Saturday. It all depends on how things play out this week. So you find a list of our sponsors on this image as well when you take a look at it on our social media. And we ask that you support our sponsors because they support us. All right, girls bowling tournament action. Lynchburg Clay picked up a win of the district that was played on, I said district, I meant sectional, yes, which was played on Friday. It was snowed out from earlier in the week. They're back at it today. Both the boys and girls bowling out at Shawnee Lanes today. That starts, well, actually, it started just a few moments ago at 11 o'clock. They should be wrapped up around 3:30 this afternoon with some district championships on the line right there. Swimming, Lancaster's Jack Hensley and Will McMasters have both qualified for the Division I OHSAA state swim meet up in Canton later this week. And they both qualified in 2 different events. None of our local swimmers qualified for the state from the D2 meet held at Ohio University over the weekend. Where did they place? You can find all that information. I've broken it down for you. It took me about 4 hours to get it done, and it's all available in a recap at littermedia.com.
That's dedication, folks.
That's what we do, man. Javon Mothmer and the Liberty Flames in action over the weekend. They improved to 21-5, 76-69 win over UTEP on the road Saturday night. The Flames are winners of 7 of the last 8 games. They won't play again until Saturday with Florida International. I think Javon had 8 points in that contest on Saturday night. St. Trace grad Cam Evans entered Saturday ranked second in the Ohio Athletic Conference in scoring average, 18.1 points per game, right behind Muskingum's Dwayne Davis. Evans also ranked third in free throws. He made 98 and a sixth in the free throw percentage. He's hit 81% of his free throws. There's Cam, number 5 on the far left. He is enjoying his 5th year eligibility playing with Otterbein. He has been a fantastic Cardinal to watch over the years, and they've not had the best of seasons. They're about 500 on their season this year. And the Ohio State men, they are just above 500 after yesterday, a heartbreaking loss for them against number 20 Michigan, 86-83. Wolverines improved to 20-5, while the Bucks slipped to 15-11. Northwestern is up next for OSU. That's this Thursday night at the Shot. And the OSU women, they're back in action tonight, hosting Iowa. And that will take place this evening. I don't know what time. It's probably a 6 o'clock tip-off, would be my guess.
Sounds right.
All right. On the way, a look at this date in history. The Litter Media Wayback Machine goes to 1801. Details next.
First, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. Learn more about the Bean Foundation and how it's helping here locally when you click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. It takes you right to a page that gives you complete details about the Bean Foundation. This date in history takes us back to 1801, a young country. That would have been, about 26 years old about that time? 1776 to 1801. Thomas Jefferson is elected the 3rd president of the United States. The election constitutes the first peaceful transfer of power from one political party to another in the United States. By 1800, when he decided to run for president, Thomas Jefferson possessed impressive political credentials as well as suited to the presidency. In addition to drafting the Declaration of Independence, Jefferson had served in 2 Continental Congresses, as Minister to France, as Secretary of State under George Washington, and as John Adams' Vice President. Today is President's Day, so our tip of the cap to Thomas Jefferson.
Southern man.
What's that?
He's Southern. He's from Virginia.
I thought you said Southern Meigs. There is a Meigs County here in Ohio.
Yes, but Thomas Jefferson is not from there.
He is not. Monticello was his home, and that, of course, is in Virginia. Thomas Worthington had a great relationship with Thomas Jefferson. And the Adena Mansion and Gardens, that was basically, from what we understand and what we're told through the period of history, they were so much alike that he wanted to make that kind of like Monticello.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you can learn more about Adena Mansion and Gardens when it reopens a little bit later on this year. And looking forward to that. I think it'll be open on Statehood Day, which is just around the corner. We are less than 2 weeks away from Statehood Day.
Oh, wow. When is Statehood Day?
It's the beginning of March.
I don't think I knew that.
1803.
I knew that, but I didn't know the day.
You didn't know the day?
No.
All right. Well, we need to reach out and talk to the Ross County Historical Society, get the new director in here again to talk about what the plans are for Statehood Day.
And educate me a little bit, apparently.
Apparently so. But most all of the historic sites are open for visiting and walking through and seeing all the sites that we have here locally, a part of our history. Of course, Chillicothe was the first capital.
And third.
Of Ohio. And third. And I like to say fifth as well, because when we had the bicentennial celebration back in 2003, all of the legislators from Columbus came to the Ross County Courthouse and they held a session. So in my eyes, in my view, Chillicothe was yet again capital for a day.
So would that make Columbus the 4th and 6th?
No, because let's see, it was here in Chillicothe, moved to Zanesville, came back here, then to Franklinton, which would become Columbus, back here for the bicentennial, and then back to Columbus again.
I see.
So I guess, yeah, technically,
right,
the 4th and 5th, 6th. So, but you won't see that on a sign as you enter Chillicothe.
No, because it's made up by Dan Ramey.
It is the first and third capital of the state of Ohio. All right, that's a look at today's program. That's revisionist history, I guess, in some respects.
If you're taking a history test, don't listen to Dan.
No, you won't want to do that. Listen to somebody like Mark Smith. Not even Mike Smith, because Mark's got the credentials.
Yes, he does.
Mike's just got the love for history. Coming up tomorrow, we have another show for you. I think we're pretty much just daily shows this week, aren't we?
No special editions?
I don't think there's any special editions that I'm aware of. So
none that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so unless Mike has something that I failed to put on my calendar.
He probably does.
You think that's the case?
Either you failed to put it on your calendar or he has failed to tell us about it.
It's usually one or the other. But that's it for today's program. So we'll leave it at that. Coming up again tomorrow, 11 o'clock, another edition of Litter Media Live. Litter Media radio coverage of basketball tonight. That'll be just before 8 o'clock this evening on Litter Media Radio. So for Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey. We'll see you soon, somewhere on the Turney Trail or here on Litter Media Live.